Min-jun, I swear I didn't mean to land in your pool. I was just trying to get away from that awful noise in the alley behind your Gangnam building, and the wall was higher than I thought, and the night was darker than it looked, and suddenly I'm sinking under your stupid underwater lights that make everything look like a dramatic music video. Hun, I'm not upset about the pool. I'm upset that the first time I meet someone crashing into my life like this, she won't tell me why she was running, and she keeps avoiding my eyes like she's hiding a whole storm behind them. Why do you care what I'm hiding? You're a CEO with perfect shoes and a perfect schedule and a perfect life. People like me don't exactly belong in your world, especially not dripping water all over your expensive terrace while you stare at me like I ruined your evening. You didn't ruin my evening. You changed it, and that's different. Also, you're shivering, and I can't figure out if it's because of the cold or because you think I'm about to throw you out like some security breach. Maybe both. Look, I'll leave. I'll climb back over the wall, pretend I never fell into your pool, pretend you never pulled me out like some confused knight who doesn't know why he's rescuing strangers in the middle of a Seoul night. You think I'm confused? I'm not. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to understand why a girl with eyes like they've carried too many nights alone thinks she has to run from everything, including someone who's just asking if she's okay. I don't need someone asking if I'm okay, Min-jun. I just need to breathe. I just need one night where I don't have to explain the pieces of my life that keep slipping out of my hands. And you standing there with that steady voice makes it harder to pretend nothing hurts. Then don't pretend. Tell me what chased you over that wall. Tell me why you look like the city has been too heavy on your shoulders. You didn't fall into my pool by accident. Something pushed you to leap without knowing what waited on the other side. You really want the truth? I jumped because I was scared, not of someone, not of anything dramatic, just scared of the way everything feels like it's closing in. This city is too fast, too loud, too much. And sometimes when I'm walking alone down the streets near Hongdae or squeezing into a subway train in Myeongdong, it feels like I'm disappearing. Tonight, I just wanted to breathe without the world noticing. Han, you're not disappearing. I noticed you. The second you rose from my pool, dripping and furious and alive, I noticed you, more clearly than I've noticed anything in a very long time. And I don't know why, but it feels like if you walk away right now, something important will slip out of my life before I even understand what it is. Don't say things like that. Don't make this more than what it is, a mistake, an accident, a girl who can't even jump a wall properly. You're making it sound like fate pushed me here. Maybe it did. Seoul is crowded, but people don't collide like this without a reason. I don't believe in coincidences that crash into swimming pools. I should go. If I stay here any longer, I'll start wanting things I shouldn't want. Safety, warmth, a place where someone actually listens. I don't get to want those things, not from someone like you. And what if I'm offering them? What if I'm standing here wanting to understand you, not out of curiosity, but because something about tonight feels like it's shifting the ground I've been standing on for too long? Then you'd be making a mistake, Min-jun, because people like me, we break things just by existing near them. Then let me decide what breaks me. Stay, just for a moment. Tell me why your voice trembles when you talk about disappearing. Because I already feel like I'm halfway gone. And if I stay here, if I let you pull me back into something warm, I'm afraid I won't know how to leave again. And what if I don't want you to leave? Silence. And that was the moment everything collapsed. If you're feeling this, subscribe for more stories. Ha-eun left wet footprints across the polished floor of Min-jun's Gangnam Terrace as the city hummed below them. Neon lights flickered against the glass walls, soft and distant, like they weren't part of the world she wanted to escape. She clutched the towel he'd handed her, gripping it too tightly, as if it was the only solid thing left in her night. Min-jun watched her quietly, arms crossed, coat draped over her shoulders. "You're still shaking," he said, voice low. "I said I'm fine," she muttered, eyes fixed on the skyline instead of him. He stepped closer. "You don't look fine." The wind swept through the terrace, lifting strands of her damp hair. She pulled the coat tighter, avoiding the warmth creeping into her chest. She didn't want warmth. Warmth complicated everything. They walked inside. "You're still shaking," he said, voice low. "I said I'm fine," she muttered, eyes fixed on the skyline instead of him. He stepped closer. "You don't look fine." The wind swept through the terrace, lifting strands of her damp hair. She pulled the coat tighter, avoiding the warmth creeping into her chest. She didn't want warmth. Warmth complicated everything. They walked inside. The living room felt too modern, too clean, too far from the cramped streets she'd come from. Everything smelled faintly of cedar and something expensive. "Sit," Minjun said. "I'm not a lost puppy," Ha-eun replied, but she sat anyway, sinking into a velvety sofa that probably cost more than her entire monthly rent. Minjun placed a mug of hot tea in front of her. She frowned. "You just keep tea ready for strangers who fall into your pool?" He cracked a smile small. "Only the ones who look like the night almost swallowed them." She rolled her eyes, but the steam from the cup steadied her breathing. For a moment, they just existed in the quiet. Then her phone buzzed. Her shoulders tensed. She didn't look at the screen. Minju noticed. "Someone looking for you?" "No, no one's looking for me." That didn't sound convincing. Ha-eun let out a breath, trembling at the edges. "It's work, or people from work, or whatever you want to call a place that drains you until you forget you used to dream about anything else." "You don't have to go back tonight," he said. She stared at the tea. "I always have to go back." Outside, the rain finally reached Gangnam, tapping against the windows in slow, rhythmic knocks. Ha-eun lifted her head. The city lights blurred through the droplets like watercolor. "It's late," she whispered, "and I've already caused you enough trouble." "You haven't caused me anything," Minjun said. "You're here, that's all." His sincerity unnerved her. She stood abruptly. "Thank you for the tea, and for pulling me out of the pool before I drowned in embarrassment. You really think I'm letting you leave like this? You don't even have dry clothes." "I'll manage." He moved toward her, but slowly, giving her space to step away if she wanted. "At least let me walk you out." "I jumped over a wall to get in," she said. "I can find my own way out." "Ha-eun." Her name on his lips made her freeze. "You don't have to disappear tonight." Her heartbeat stuttered painfully. She didn't understand why he cared, why his voice softened like he was speaking to something fragile. "I'm not your responsibility," she said, turning away. "I don't fit into places like this, or people like you." As she reached the door, another vibration buzzed through her phone, this time longer, persistent. She flinched. Minjun's eyes narrowed. "Who keeps calling you?" "No one," she said quickly, but her voice cracked. He took a step closer. "Ha-eun, tell me." She shook her head and slipped out into the hallway, the cold air swallowing her breath. Her footsteps echoed as she walked toward the elevators, desperately holding herself together. Halfway down the corridor, she stopped, closed her eyes, pressed her forehead against the wall. She whispered, "I shouldn't have come here." Back inside, Minjun stared at the door she left through, jaw tight, concern rooting deeper in him than he expected. He didn't know why he cared. He only knew he wasn't done with her story. And then his phone rang, a name flashing that made his expression shift sharply. Something was about to change. The elevator door slid shut in front of Ha-eun, trapping her reflection in the mirror like steel. Her hair still dripped, her eyes looked tired, and her heartbeat was louder than the soft music playing inside the lift. As the elevator descended, she pressed her fingers to her temples. "Don't think, just breathe," she whispered. But every breath felt tight. When the doors opened into the quiet lobby, the night air from outside rushed in. She stepped onto the sidewalk, pulling Minjun's coat tighter around her. She should have left it behind, but she couldn't bring herself to. Not yet. Seoul's streets glowed with rainy reflections. Hongdae neon in puddles, passing headlights turning the asphalt silver. Ha-eun started walking fast, like distance alone could shake off the weight pressing on her chest. Behind her, the building's glass doors opened again. "Ha-eun!" Minjun's voice cut through the rain.
She stopped, but didn't turn. "I said I can walk myself home," she said quietly. "I'm not following you," he replied, coming closer. "I'm trying to give you your phone. You dropped it when you picked up your bag." She turned then, eyes widening. He held out the cracked device, the screen still glowing with missed calls. The number flashed again. Unknown. Again. "It's been calling non-stop," he said. Ha-eun snatched the phone quickly, her expression tightening. "It's nothing." That didn't look like nothing. "Minjun, please." Her voice softened, pained. "Not tonight." A silence stretched between them, filled with rain and the distant hum of late-night taxis. Minjun studied her face, the way she fought to stay composed, how her shoulders curled inward like she was bracing for something she wouldn't name. He lowered his voice. "At least let me walk you to the subway." "No. If you walk with me, people will stare."
A CEO in Gangnam walking next to someone like me? Rumors spread fast in this city. I don't care about rumors. Well, I do. Another buzz. Ha-eun flinched. This time she silenced the phone without looking. Minjun stepped closer, rain gathering on his hair and collar. "Who's calling you like this? Someone from work? Someone hurting you?" "No one's hurting me," she said too quickly. He didn't believe her, but he didn't push. Instead, he shrugged off his jacket and placed it carefully over her already layered shoulders. "At least keep this one dry," he said. "You can return it another day." "Another day?" she repeated. "Yes, because this isn't the last time we meet." She swallowed hard. "You talk like you already know that." "I do." They stared at each other under the streetlight, rain softening the harsh edges of the night. Something electric flickered between them, something neither wanted to name. Then a car rolled slowly up the street. Tinted windows, low engine, moving too quietly. Ha-eun's breath caught. Minjun noticed immediately. "Do you know that car?" "No," she whispered, but her voice trembled. The car slowed to a stop near them. Minjun shifted slightly, placing himself between her and the vehicle. "Get behind me." "Minjun, don't." Before she could finish, the tinted window lowered a few inches. A man's voice called out. "Ha-eun." Her entire body froze. Minjun's jaw clenched. "Who is that?" She shook her head, stepping back instinctively. "I have to go." "You're not going with him." "You don't understand. I don't have a choice." The door clicked open. Rain fell harder. Minjun grabbed her wrist gently but firmly. "You're not going anywhere with someone who makes you look like that." Her eyes glistened. Fear, shame, something deeper. "Minjun, please, let go." He didn't. The man stepped partially out of the car, his face still hidden in shadow. "Get in," the voice said. Calm, too calm. Ha-eun's pulse raced so fast she felt dizzy. "I'm sorry," she whispered to Minjun. "I didn't want you involved." "Involved in what?" he demanded. But she didn't answer. The man took another step. The rainstorm swallowed the street. And then Ha-eun did the last thing Minjun expected. She pulled her wrist free, turned, and ran. Ha-eun sprinted down the wet sidewalk, her footsteps splashing through shallow puddles as the rain blurred everything into streaks of silver. She didn't look back. Couldn't. If she did, she knew her legs would stop working. Minjun ran after her. "Ha-eun, wait!" She cut through a narrow alley behind a Myeongdong cafe, the glow of warm light spilling out onto the street. The scent of roasted beans mixed with rain-soaked air, but the comfort of it barely reached her. Her breath came out uneven, sharp, panicked. Minjun caught up beside her as she slowed near the subway entrance. "Why are you running from him? Who is that man?" "I told you," she whispered, "you shouldn't get involved." "That's not an answer." She wiped rain from her face, though it didn't matter. New drops clung to her skin immediately. "Just go home, Minjun. Forget this night. Forget me."
I'm not forgetting anything. It's safer if you do." She didn't mean to raise her voice, but fear pushed the words out too fast, too raw. She took a shaky breath and stepped back. The familiar chime of the subway echoed from below, the warm air from the station rising up the stairs. "I have to go. Please." Min-jun looked at her, really looked, at the trembling in her hands, the tension in her shoulders, the way she kept glancing toward the street like she expected that car to appear any second. "You don't owe me explanations," he said softly, "but you don't deserve to be scared like this, not alone." She lowered her gaze. "Being alone is the only thing I'm good at." "That's not true." Before she could turn away, he offered her something small, silent, steady. An umbrella, pink from the cafe's Lost and Found. It looked out of place in his hand, ridiculous even, but the gesture pulled a faint, involuntary breath of surprise from her. "You'll catch a cold," he said. "You already gave me a coat. Then let me give you this too." She hesitated, then accepted it with both hands, the edges trembling slightly. For a moment, their fingers touched, warm, brief, enough to make the air change between them. Min-jun stepped back. "I won't follow you home, but if anything happens, anything, you call me." "I don't even have your number." He reached out and gently tapped the phone in her hand. "You will." The subway announcement echoed again, doors closing soon. She drew in a deep breath, looking at him one last time under the pink umbrella. "Thank you for not leaving me on that terrace. I wasn't going to leave you anywhere." Ha-eun turned and walked down the steps. The umbrella floated above her like a small shield in the storm. Min-jun stood at the top, watching until she disappeared into the crowd below.
As he turned to head back, a gust of wind swept past him, carrying the sound of a car engine rolling slowly into the street. The same car, dark, familiar. It stopped at the curb. The tinted window lowered again, just enough for the shadow inside to speak. "So that's the man she's been hiding from us." Min-jun froze. The window lifted. The car pulled away into the darkness, leaving only the sound of rain cascading down the empty street. Something had shifted, and Min-jun knew it wasn't going to stop here. Hae-yeon rode the subway toward Hongdae, gripping the punk umbrella like it was a lifeline. The train rocked gently, fluorescent lights flickering overhead. People around her scrolled through phones, whispered into earbuds, drifted half asleep after long shifts. No one looked at her. No one noticed the way her breath hitched every few seconds. She hated how familiar the fear felt. When the train slowed at her stop, she slipped out with the crowd and climbed the stairs into the rainy night. Hongdae's streets buzzed even past midnight. Street performers packing up, food stalls steaming under plastic covers, students huddled under awnings laughing about nothing. She wished she could be one of them, just for a night. Her tiny rooftop studio was only a few blocks away, above a nearly forgotten coffee shop that smelled like burnt toast and old espresso. She unlocked the metal door and climbed the narrow staircase to her room. Inside, everything was still, quiet. Too small for shadows to hide in, too cramped for anything dangerous. Exactly why she'd chosen it. She set the umbrella down and draped Min-jun's coat over a chair. Rainwater dripped from her sleeves onto the wooden floor. Her phone buzzed again. She didn't pick it up. Instead, she sank to the floor, knees pulled to her chest. Her eyes stung, but she refused to let anything fall. Not tonight. "Don't think, don't feel, just breathe," she whispered. But her chest wouldn't loosen. Miles away, in his apartment overlooking Gangnam, Min-jun stood with both hands braced against his desk. The night's events replayed in his head like an unfinished puzzle. The man in the car, the way Hae-in froze, the panic she tried to hide. He grabbed his phone and dialed someone he didn't often call at this hour. "Ji-hoon," he said as soon as the line connected, "I need a favor." His friend groaned through the speaker.
"It's past 1, Minjin. This better not be about a meeting." "It's not. I need information on a car. Black sedan, tinted windows, license plate starting with 68U. It followed someone tonight." Ji-hoon's tone shifted instantly. "Is someone threatening you?" "No," Minjin said, "not me." There was a pause, a knowing one. "Who is she?" Ji-hoon asked quietly. Minjin didn't answer right away. His gaze drifted to the terrace where Hae-yun had stood dripping under the city lights. "Someone I met by accident," he finally said, "and someone who's in trouble." Ji-hoon exhaled. "Send me what you remember. I'll look into it." Minjin ended the call and stared at his own reflection in the dark window. He didn't understand why tonight mattered so much, why a stranger's trembling voice still echoed in his ears, why her fear felt personal. But he knew one thing: he couldn't just step back and forget. Meanwhile, Hae-yun forced herself to stand. She washed her face in the tiny bathroom sink and changed into dry clothes. As she moved around the room, the rain tapping against her skylight softened, almost calming. She stared at Minjin's coat again. Why had he been so kind? Why had he put himself between her and danger without hesitation? Why had she felt safe, even for a moment, standing next to him under the streetlight? Her phone vibrated again. This time, a message. She hesitated before looking. "We need to talk. You can't keep avoiding this. You know what you owe us." Her lips parted in a silent breath. No, not again. She stepped back, hitting the wall behind her. Her hands shook so hard she nearly dropped the phone. Then another message appeared. "If you don't respond, we'll come find you." Her heartbeat thundering painfully. She wasn't safe. Not here. Not anywhere. And for the first time tonight, a single thought surfaced. Dangerously warm, dangerously hopeful. What if I tell Minjin? She shut her eyes. No, she couldn't drag him into this. But the thought stayed anyway. Across the city, Minjin felt something tighten in his chest, as if the night itself was warning him. Tomorrow would not be ordinary. Something was already moving toward them both. Morning crept into Seoul quietly, soft gray light sliding between buildings and settling over the Han River. Hae-yun barely slept. She sat on the edge of her bed, hugging her knees, staring at the 2 coats hanging on the back of her door, hers thin and worn, and Minjin's heavy and warm. She shouldn't still be thinking about him.
But every time she closed her eyes, she saw the way he stepped in front of her without hesitation, the way his voice softened when he said her name, the way he looked at her like she wasn't invisible. Her phone lit up again. Another message. "You have until tonight." She shut the screen off, heart twisting. Downstairs, the coffee shop owner clattered metal trays and muttered at the radio. The smell of fresh pastries drifted up the stairwell. Normally, the scent comforted her. This morning, it made her stomach tighten. She forced herself to stand. She had work. Life didn't pause for fear. Outside, the streets buzzed with commuters rushing towards subway stations, office towers, and steaming street stalls. She fell into the current, blending in like she always did. Seoul was good at swallowing people whole. Inside the Seoul marketing office where she worked, fluorescent lights hummed, printers clicked, coworkers complained about deadlines. Normal noise, normal chaos. But her hands wouldn't stop trembling. "Ha-eun, can you review these proposals?" Min-so asked, placing a stack of papers on her desk. "Yeah, sure." Min-so frowned. "Your face is pale. Are you sick?" "No, just tired." Before Min-so could ask more, the elevator dinged, and everyone in the office glanced up, because CEOs did not visit this floor unless something unusual was happening. Minjin stepped out. Ha-eun's breath caught instantly. Why was he here? Why now? Coworkers straightened their posture, whispering nervously. Minjin walked with calm confidence, but his eyes scanned the room with purpose, until they found her. Ha-eun froze in her seat.
He approached slowly, respectfully, but the air around them tightened. She stood automatically. "Can we talk?" he asked softly. Every head turned. She stepped back, whispering, "Not here." "Then come with me." He wasn't demanding, just steady, but his presence alone caused ripples she couldn't control. Before following him, she glanced at her team. They pretended not to stare, yet their curiosity burned. In the hallway, away from the eyes and murmurs, Minjun lowered his voice. "You didn't answer my messages." "I couldn't." She clenched her hands together. "Yesterday was complicated." "I figured." He studied her face. "Are you safe?" No one had ever asked her that with such sincerity. She swallowed. "I don't know." That answer made his expression shift, sharper, protective. "Ha'an, whoever that man was—" "Please," she interrupted, "don't ask. You shouldn't be involved." He stepped closer, his voice dropping. Too late. Her heartbeat stuttered. "Why do you keep doing this? I barely know you." "You crashed into my life," he said quietly, "and nothing has felt the same since." She looked away, breath trembling. "I don't want to pull you into my mess," she whispered. "You already did," he said, "and I'm not walking away." A door opened behind them. A supervisor passed by, eyes widening at the sight of them together. Ha'an stiffened. "People will start rumors," she said. "Let them. I don't care." "But I do," she whispered. He exhaled slowly. "Then let me help without anyone knowing." Her pulse quickened. "Why help me at all?" "Because you looked terrified last night," he said, "and no one should face that alone." For a moment, she couldn't speak. The hallway felt too quiet, too intimate. Then her phone buzzed again. She didn't even look, just flinched. Minjun noticed. "Is it him?" She pressed the phone to her chest. "Minjun, if I tell you what's happening, you'll regret ever meeting me." "I won't." "You will." Before he could respond, the elevator doors at the end of the hall opened. A man stepped out. Not the one from the car, but someone who carried the same cold stillness. Sharp suit, blank expression, eyes scanning, searching for her. Minjun's jaw tightened. Ha'an's breath vanished. The man spotted her. He started walking toward them with deliberate, measured steps. She whispered, "No, not here, not at work." Minjun subtly shifted, placing himself between her and the approaching figure without hesitation. The man stopped a few meters away and spoke with an unnervingly calm voice. "Ha'an, we need you to come with us." Seoul's hallway buzzed, fluorescent lights humming above them, but everything else fell silent. And then the man took another step toward her. Ha'an's breath hitched as the man advanced. The hallway felt too narrow, the air too thin. She took a step back, bumping into the wall behind her. Her palms turned cold. Minjun stood firm. "Who are you?" he asked, voice low. The man didn't answer. His eyes never left Ha'an. "We need to talk. It won't take long." She shook her head instantly. "I told you, I'm done. I'm not going anywhere with you." "That's not your decision," he replied. Minjun's expression darkened. "It is. She said no." The man finally shifted his gaze to him. "This doesn't concern you." "It does," Minjun said.
"You approached her last night as well." A thin smile formed on the man's lips. "You're the CEO, aren't you? The one she stumbled into. Interesting." Ha'an grabbed Minjun's sleeve lightly, voice trembling. "Please, don't provoke him." The man clasped his hands behind his back. "We're not here to cause a scene, but she owes a debt, and the people waiting for her aren't as patient as I am." Her stomach twisted painfully. "I paid everything I could. I told you I just needed time." "You've had time," he replied. "Now you come with us, or someone else pays the price." Minjun stepped forward, blocking the man's view completely. "She's not going anywhere." "Move," the man said calmly. No. A few employees down the hall peeked around corners, whispering, sensing tension but not understanding it. The man sighed. Very well. If she won't leave with us today, we'll return later. But tell her this, running only makes things worse. He turned away without waiting for her reaction and walked toward the elevator. As the doors closed, Ha-un felt her knees weaken. She slid down the wall, breath shaky. I can't do this anymore. I can't. Min-jun crouched beside her. Ha-un, look at me. She did, eyes glossy, terrified. Tell me, he said softly. Tell me what they want. She shook her head, gripping her sleeves. It's stupid. I should have never gotten involved with them. I needed money, just a little, and someone at work introduced me to a group that lends fast cash. No paperwork, no questions. I thought I could pay it back before interest exploded, but it didn't stop. It just kept growing. How much? He asked. Too much, she whispered. I'm trapped. If I stop paying, they start showing up. If I run, they find me. They always find me. His chest tightened with something protective, fierce. Why didn't you tell someone? The police? They don't leave evidence, she said. Even if I report them, they'll know it was me. And people like them, they don't forgive. The hallway hummed around them, but the world felt distant. Why didn't you tell me? Min-jun asked gently. Because you're you, she said, voice trembling. You're stable, important, untouchable. I didn't want to drag you into the mess I created. You think I care about that? His voice cracked in frustration. You're scared out of your mind, and you came here alone because you had no one else. Tears finally spilled down her cheeks. She covered her face with both hands. I'm so tired, Min-jun. I'm tired of being scared every second. I'm tired of phones buzzing. I'm tired of jumping at shadows. I just want to live like everyone else. He hesitated only a moment before gently pulling her hands down, forcing her to meet his eyes. You're not alone anymore, he said. I don't care how messy it is. I'm not letting them touch you. Her breath trembled. You can't promise that. I just did. A door opened behind them. Ji-hoon, breathless, holding his phone. Min-jun, he said urgently, I found something about that car from last night. Ha-un looked up sharply. Min-jun stood, helping her rise. What is it? Ji-hoon lowered his voice. It belongs to a shell company connected to a loan operation. Dangerous people, not small-time collectors. Ha-un closed her eyes, dread sinking deeper. Ji-hoon glanced at her, then back at Min-jun. You need to be careful. Getting involved with them is complicated. Min-jun looked at Ha-un, her trembling shoulders, her misted eyes, the exhaustion weighing down her frame. Too late for careful, he murmured. Ha-un gripped his sleeve again, voice barely audible. You shouldn't help me. They'll come after you, too. He turned to her, unwavering. Let them try. Outside the office windows, the sky darkened despite the hour, rain gathering again over Seoul, like the city itself was holding its breath. Something was shifting between them, and something far darker was closing in. Rain rolled down the massive glass windows of the office building, as if Seoul itself were listening. Ha-un stood between Min-jun and Ji-hoon, her hands still trembling, her mind spinning. She couldn't believe this was happening in the middle of an ordinary workday. Ji-hoon glanced at her sympathetically. If what I found is right, they're not just loan sharks. They're tied to a bigger network, one that stays quiet because people are too scared to report anything. Ha-un's stomach dropped. I told you, it's bad. Min-jun took a steady breath, jaw tight.
Then we'd deal with it. We? She whispered. Minjun, no, I never wanted this. Too late, he said softly. I'm already in it. He brushed a raindrop from her cheek, only it wasn't a raindrop. She quickly looked away, wiping her tears with the back of her hand. Ji-hoon lowered his voice. Look, I can ask someone I know in the police, off the record, not an official report, just information. But if they're watching her, any move could alert them.
Ha-eun wrapped her arms around herself. They're always watching. I feel it everywhere I go. How long has this been going on? Minjun asked. A few months, she said weakly. At first it was manageable, then the interest doubled, then tripled, and when I couldn't keep up, they started coming to my apartment, waiting outside the coffee shop downstairs, calling at all hours. Ji-hoon exhaled. You should have told someone. I didn't want to be a burden, she whispered. Minjun's expression twisted. You're not a burden. Don't ever say that again. The elevator dinged at the far end of the hallway, pulling their attention. Ha-eun instinctively stepped closer to Minjun, fear flashing across her face. But it was just a courier delivering documents. Still, her reaction wasn't lost on him. You can't stay here the rest of the day, Minjun said. If they came once, they'll come again. Ha-eun shook her head. I can't just leave in the middle of my shift. I'll take the responsibility, he replied. No one will question it. That's not the point. People will think. I don't care what people think. His voice softened. I care about you. Those words opened something inside her she had tried to keep sealed. She felt her throat tighten, her eyes warming again. Ji-hoon cleared his throat. I'll get the car from the underground parking, the private entrance, no cameras from outside. He looked at Ha-eun gently. It's safer. She hesitated. Where would I even go? My place, Minjun said. Her eyes widened. No, absolutely not. If they're following me, I have security systems, he replied, and staff who won't say a word. They won't get near you. She shook her head desperately. It's too much. I can't hide in your world. I don't belong there. He placed a hand over hers, grounding her. Then let me come into yours. Her chest tightened painfully. Before she could answer, Min Seo called from the office doorway. Ha-eun, are you okay? The team said something happened. Ha-eun jumped slightly, wiping her face quickly. I'm fine, just needed some air. Min Seo's eyes flicked to Minjun, then to Ji-hoon, then to Ha-eun again. Confusion, concern, curiosity. If you need to step out, I can cover for you. Thank you, Ha-eun whispered. Min Seo nodded and slipped back inside. Ji-hoon checked his phone. Car's ready, we should move. Ha-eun's pulse quickened. She felt the weight of a decision pressing on her chest. Minjun stepped closer, his voice low but steady. Come with me, just for today. We'll figure everything out from there. Why? She whispered. Why are you doing all this for someone who fell into your pool by accident? He searched her eyes, rain reflected in his. Because when you climbed out of that water, something in you, it didn't look like a mistake. Her breath caught, and something in the air shifted, quiet but undeniable. She looked down the hallway toward the elevators, where danger had appeared only moments ago. Then she looked at Minjun's hand, still gently holding hers. She swallowed hard. Okay, just today. Minjun let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding. Ji-hoon motioned for them to follow. Let's go before someone else shows up. They walked together toward the private elevator. Ha-eun stayed close to Minjun, every step heavy with the knowledge that her life had just crossed a line she couldn't uncross. As the door slid shut behind them, sealing them away from the office, a message appeared on her phone. We saw you. You're making this worse for yourself. Her fingers trembled around the device. She didn't show it to Minjun, but he sensed something anyway, the air tightening, the fear deepening. And he knew they were running out of time. The private elevator descended smoothly, but inside, the air felt tense, almost suffocating. Ha-eun stood beside Minjun, clutching her phone so tightly her knuckles whitened.
Rain streaked the glass on the far side of the shaft, blurred by the soft interior lights. Min-jun watched her carefully, though he didn't ask about the new message she was trying to hide. He sensed it anyway, something sharper in her silence, something urgent. When they reached the underground level, Ji-hoon was already waiting beside a black car, sleek, discreet, tinted windows shielded from curious eyes. "This way," he said. Ha-eun hesitated before stepping into the back seat. The car felt too quiet, too clean, too safe, compared to the storm inside her. Min-jun slid in beside her, while Ji-hoon took the front. As the car pulled out of the underground lot, Ha-eun's A's darted around the exit ramps, checking every shadow. Every dark corner looked like a threat. "Relax," Ji-hoon said from the front. "This entrance isn't visible from street cameras." "That's not what I'm worried about," she whispered. Min-jun leaned slightly closer. "Are you expecting them to follow us?" "They always do," she said, fingers trembling in her lap.
They know everywhere I go. Ji-hoon shot a quick look at her through the rearview mirror, worry softening his expression. How did you get mixed up with a group like this? Ha-eun exhaled shakily. I didn't have a choice. My mother had medical bills stacking up. I was working overtime, taking freelance shifts, anything I could find, but I couldn't keep up. Someone at a cafe told me about a fast loan. I was desperate. I didn't think they were dangerous. Min-jun's brows furrowed. Where is your mother now? In Busan, she said softly. She never knew how I paid the bills. I didn't want her to feel guilty. I thought if I fixed everything quietly, she'd never have to know how bad it got. And you've been carrying this alone the entire time? Min-jun asked. She nodded. The car merged into the afternoon traffic, rain filtering down in steady sheets over Gangnam's wide streets. Pedestrians hurried under umbrellas, office workers dashed between buildings, taxis splashed through puddles. The world moved as usual. Only she felt like it was collapsing. Min-jun reached over and gently unclenched her hand. Whatever happens now, you're not alone anymore. She looked at him, really looked. His calm expression, the warm steadiness in his eyes, it made something inside her tremble. I don't want to pull you into danger, she whispered. You didn't pull me, he said. I walked in. Her breath caught, but before she could respond, Ji-hoon slowed the car. Something's off. Min-jun straightened. What do you mean? Ji-hoon gestured through the windshield. The car behind us. It's been right on our tail since we left the office. Ha-eun's heart dropped. No. A dark sedan followed at an uncomfortably close distance. Tinted windows, low profile. Min-jun's jaw tightened. Is it them? I can't confirm, but they're not driving like a coincidence. Ha-eun turned pale. Please, don't let them get near us. We won't, Min-jun said firmly. Ji-hoon made a sharp turn into a side street near the river. The sedan followed. Another turn. The sedan stayed behind. Traffic thinned as they approached a quieter district near the Han River, the water shimmering under the gray sky. Ji-hoon accelerated, navigating narrow roads with precision. They're still behind us, he muttered. Ha-eun pressed a hand to her mouth. Oh God! Stay with me, Min-jun whispered, placing a steadying hand over hers. The sedan swerved slightly, trying to close the distance. Ji-hoon clicked his tongue. They're not amateurs. Lose them, Min-jun said. I'm trying. The rain intensified, blurring vision. Wipers scraped noisily across the windshield. Seoul's tall buildings loomed around them like silent witnesses. Then Ji-hoon cut sharply into a riverside road, a long stretch of asphalt flanked by trees and mist rising off the water. This should give us room, he said. But the sedan sped up. Ha-eun's flinched with every turn of the wheels behind them. Why won't they stop following us? They want leverage, Min-jun said. They think you're alone. They don't realize they're wrong. She shook her head. They'll hurt you if they think you're helping me. Ji-hoon's voice was tense. Brace yourselves. He accelerated again, swerving around a delivery truck. The sedan did the same, refusing to fall back. The car engine growled. Ha-eun grabbed Min-jun's sleeve, her voice barely a breath.
Minjun, I'm scared. I know, he whispered. I'm here. For a moment, the world narrowed to rain, metal, and fear. Then, a red light appeared at the end of the road, a crosswalk filled with people. Ji-hoon hit the brakes hard. The tires screeched, the city echoing with the sharp sound. The sedan behind them reacted too late. It skidded, fishtailed, and stopped just a few meters from their bumper. People screamed, umbrellas scattered. The smell of burning rubber filled the rain-soaked air. Ji-hoon's breath shook. We can't stay here. Minjun looked at Ha-eun, who stared frozen at the mirror, eyes locked on the sedan behind them. Rain poured harder, as if the sky were collapsing. And then, the sedan door began to open. The door of the sedan opened slowly, almost too calmly for the chaos that had just unfolded. Rain poured down in thick sheets, distorting shapes and colors on the street. Pedestrians hurried out of the way as the tension thickened like fog. Ha-eun's breath caught. She instinctively pressed closer to Minjun, her fingers gripping his sleeve with desperate strength. A man stepped out of the sedan. Not the one from the office, not the one from last night. Someone new, someone colder. His umbrella opened with a soft snap, the fabric blooming above him like a shadow. He approached their car with unhurried steps. Ji-hoon cursed under his breath. This is bad. Minjun's voice stayed calm. Stay inside. Don't open your door. The man stopped in front of the car, rain dripping from the edge of his umbrella.
He tilted his head, studying them through the windshield. His stare held no anger, no impatience, just a quiet, unnerving certainty. Then he lifted a small card and pressed it against the glass. A business card. Ha-eun froze. Bold black lettering, a number, a name she recognized from the messages. Her blood turned cold. "No," she whispered. "That's him. He's higher up. He's the one they all answer to." Ji-hoon muttered, "We're dealing with leadership? Fantastic." The man tapped twice on the glass, slow and deliberate, then mouthed something they couldn't hear. But Ha-eun knew the shape of the words. "We need to talk." Ji-hoon immediately shifted the car into reverse. But before he could accelerate, the man calmly stepped aside, giving them space to flee, almost inviting it. "That's not good," Ji-hoon said. "He wants us to run." "Go anyway," Minjun said. Ji-hoon sped backward, then swerved around the crosswalk, turning sharply into a narrow riverside road lined with trees. The sedan didn't follow. It simply watched. Ha-eun looked back through the rear windshield until the man disappeared in the rain. Her voice trembled. "This is getting worse. They're not just chasing me anymore. They're observing, waiting. They know I'm with you now." Minjun placed a hand on her shoulder. "Let them know. It changes nothing." "But it does," she whispered, staring at her trembling hands. "People don't cross him. People don't walk away from debts with his group. They become examples." Minjun's jaw clenched. "You're not one of his examples." Ji-hoon drove fast through the quieter streets until the car slipped into the private garage beneath Minjun's building. Security gates lowered behind them, sealing them inside. Only when the engine shut off did the silence truly hit. Ha-eun sank back into her seat, eyes unfocused. "I shouldn't have gotten in this car. I shouldn't be here. You're both in danger because of me." "Stop," Minjun said firmly. "You didn't choose any of this. You did what you had to survive." "But now you're involved." Minjun reached over and gently lifted her chin so she would meet his eyes. "I got involved the second you fell into my pool." Her breath caught painfully. Ji-hoon climbed out first, scanning the garage. "Security looks clear. Let's get inside before someone decides to test the system." Minjun helped Ha-eun out of the car, keeping a steady hand at her back as if anchoring her. She didn't resist. She felt too hollow, too frightened, too close to unraveling.
Inside the private elevator, the soft lighting cast a warm glow on her pale face. She leaned lightly against the wall, eyes closed, Rain still clinging to her hair. Minjun watched her in silence, conflict swirling behind his calm exterior. Something about her vulnerability, her resilience, her stubborn refusal to break, it pulled him deeper than he'd ever expected. When the elevator reached his penthouse floor, the doors slid open to reveal a quiet, elegant space filled with soft lighting, warm wood, and wide windows overlooking a misty Seoul. Ha-eun stepped inside timidly. She had never been anywhere like this, and yet it felt strangely gentle. "You can stay in the guest room," Minjun said. "No one can reach you here." She nodded, though her throat tightened with guilt. "Thank you for everything. Today shouldn't have been your problem." "It wasn't," he said, "but you were." Silence stretched between them, heavy yet intimate. She looked away, afraid of what she felt rising inside her. Ji-hoon checked his watch. "I'll head back. I'll monitor the area around the building. Call me if anything moves." Minjun nodded. When Ji-hoon left, the penthouse felt too quiet, too close. Ha-eun walked toward the window, staring out at the blurred city lights trembling behind the rain. Her reflection stared back at her, small, tired, overwhelmed. "I don't know how to fix this," she whispered. "No matter how far I run, they always catch up." Minjun stepped up beside her. His reflection appeared next to hers in the glass. "Then stop running alone." She swallowed. "You make it sound like it's easy." "It's not easy," he said softly, "but it's possible with someone beside you." She finally turned toward him. Their faces were close, closer than they had ever been. The rain on the window softened the space around them, as if the world outside had quieted to give them one fragile moment. But then her phone buzzed again. One new message. She lifted it with trembling fingers. The notification preview froze her blood. "Nice place. Does he know we're watching the building?" Her hand slipped. The phone hit the floor, and the world inside the penthouse shifted again. The phone clattered against the hardwood floor, the sound echoing unnaturally loud in the quiet penthouse. Ha-eun's breath stopped. Minjun reacted instantly, scooping up the device before she could. He read the message. His expression changed, slowly, dangerously.
"They're outside the building," he said. Han felt her knees weaken. "I told you, they don't stop. They don't care where I am." Minjun exhaled sharply through his nose, anger simmering beneath the surface. "They think threats work on me? They think watching my home will scare me?" His voice was low, too calm. Ha-eun shook her head frantically. "Minjun, don't do anything reckless. They won't hesitate to hurt you. I'm not afraid of them." "Well, I am," her voice cracked. "I'm terrified, and knowing they're out there, knowing they're watching, it feels like I'm drowning all over again." He stepped closer and placed both hands gently on her arms, grounding her. "Look at me." She lifted her eyes slowly. "You're safe here," he said. "They won't touch you." Her voice came out small. "You can't promise that." "I just did." Rain drummed against the wide glass windows, blurring the city lights like smeared watercolor. Ha-eun blinked rapidly, fighting tears and fear and the overwhelming weight of everything collapsing at once. Minjun guided her to the sofa, but she remained standing, shaking too much to sit. He didn't force her. He stayed by her side, close but careful, like he sensed she was one breath away from breaking. "Tell me," he said softly, "from the beginning." She hugged her arms around herself. "It started when my mother got sick. I took extra shifts, worked weekends, skipped meals just to keep up. But the hospital bills, they kept coming. I borrowed a little, then a little more. By the time I realized what kind of people they were, I was already trapped." He listened without interrupting.
They told me the interest would be small. They lied. Every week it doubled. Every time I begged for time, they added another fee. And then they started showing up, following me, calling from unknown numbers, telling me what would happen if I didn't pay. Her voice trembled. And last week, they said if I didn't give them the full amount by the end of the month, they'd come to my workplace. They'd make a scene. They'd make sure I lost my job. Minjun's jaw tightened. So that's why you've been so scared at the office. She nodded. I thought I could handle it. I thought if I stayed invisible, if I kept my head down, it would go away. She laughed bitterly. People like them don't go away. Silence settled briefly, filled only by the steady sound of rain. I'm not strong like you, she whispered. I break so easily. You're stronger than you think, he said. She shook her head. If I were strong, I wouldn't have fallen apart the second you were kind to me. His eyes softened. Maybe you've just been strong for too long. Her lips trembled. Then, suddenly, a shadow moved outside the window. She gasped and stepped back, gripping Minjun's sleeve in panic. It's okay, he said, though his eyes darted to the glass. A security guard patrolled the terrace below, checking the perimeter. But to her, every silhouette felt like danger. Her breathing quickened. I can't stay here. They'll drag you into this. They'll ruin everything you've built. I don't care about any of that. Well, I do, she shouted, voice cracking. I care because you were the first person who made me feel seen, and the first person I'll destroy if I stay. Minjun stepped closer, rainlight shimmering across his face. You're not destroying anything. You don't understand how far they'll go. Then let me understand, he said. Let me stand with you instead of watching you suffer alone. Her chest tightened, emotions tangling painfully. But before either could speak again, Ji-hoon called. Minjun answered on speaker. Bad news, Ji-hoon said. I did another sweep around the building. 2 unfamiliar cars parked across the street, same model as the ones tied to the group. Ha-un's blood froze. Security? Minjun asked, already tightening the perimeter. But whoever these people are, they're patient. They're not moving. They're waiting. For what? Ha-un whispered. Ji-hoon hesitated. For you to make a mistake. Minjun's hand curled into a fist. Keep eyes on them. Don't approach. Got it. The call ended. Ha-un sank onto the sofa, burying her face in her hands. This is my fault. All of it. I never should have come here. Minjun sat beside her slowly, giving her space but not distance. You came here because you needed safety, and you have it. No one gets through my security. That won't stop them forever. Maybe not, he admitted, but it buys us time. She looked up. Time for what? For a plan, he said, a real way out. Her breath trembled. There is no way out. There is, he insisted, voice firm. We just haven't found it yet. Raindrops streaked down the windows, blurring Seoul into a soft, trembling glow. For a moment, neither spoke. The tension between them was heavy, but strangely tender, threaded with something unspoken. Then, a sudden loud knock shattered the quiet.
Ha-un jumped to her feet, panic flooding her face. No, no, no! Minjun stood immediately, pulling her gently behind him. The knock came again, heavy, urgent. Rain hammered the glass. Someone was at the penthouse door, watching, waiting. And they weren't security. The knock echoed again, deep, forceful, too deliberate to be a mistake. Ha-un pressed herself against the wall, her breath hitching in quick, uneven bursts. Every worst memory pulsed behind her eyes. Every threat, every warning, every shadow that had followed her through Seoul's streets. Minjun stepped toward the door slowly. Don't, she whispered, voice breaking. Minjun, don't open it. He glanced back, offering a steady look meant to reassure her, but she could see the tension in his jaw.
"I won't open it," he murmured, "but I need to see who it is." He approached the door just enough to look through the digital viewer. Rain pounded the hallway window, thunder rumbling somewhere above the city. Ha-un clutched the sofa for balance, her knees threatening to give out. "Is it them?" she whispered. Min-jun stared a long moment without speaking. Her heart dropped. "Who is it?" she begged. He finally stepped back from the door, his expression darkening. "It's not the men from earlier." His tone didn't ease her. "It's someone else." Another knock, this time softer, but somehow heavier. Then a voice. "Ha-un, please, I know you're in there." She froze. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. Recognition spread across her face like a shadow creeping over glass. "No," she whispered. "Not him. Not now." Min-jun turned to her. "Who is it?" Ha-un shook her head, tears rising. She wiped them quickly, but more followed. "It's someone from before everything got worse." She wrapped her arms around herself. "He used to be my friend, my co-worker. He introduced me to them. I didn't know he was part of it. I didn't know he would trap me." The voice outside called again, muffled but pleading. "Ha-un, just talk to me. I can fix this. You don't need him. Come out for a moment." Min-jun's eyes narrowed sharply. "You're not opening that door." She didn't move toward it. She couldn't have moved even if she tried. Her palms were cold, her breath shallow. "He's lying," she whispered. "He always lies. He told me it was safe. He told me it was temporary. He told me he'd protect me. And instead," Min-jun said, "he delivered you to them." Another soft knock. "Please, just a minute." Ha-un shook her head violently. "He's here to bring me back, or to convince me to go willingly so they don't have to make a scene." Min-jun stepped closer to her, his presence grounding her trembling frame. "Then he's not getting anywhere near you." She looked up at him, tears blurring her vision. "Why won't it stop? Why do they keep finding me?" He brushed a strand of hair from her damp cheek. "Because you've been fighting alone, and they prey on that. But you're not alone anymore. Not now." The door vibrated as the man outside leaned against it. "Ha-un, if you don't come out, they'll come in. Don't make this harder. You know how they are." She flinched. Min-jun's expression hardened into something colder than she'd ever seen on him. He pulled out his phone. "I'm calling Ji-hun." "Min-jun, what if they—" "They won't get inside," he said firmly, pressing the call button. "And if they try, they won't like what happens next." The call connected. "Ji-hun," Min-jun said quietly, "we have a situation. Someone is at my door. Not one of the leaders, someone connected to them. I need security on this floor immediately." Through the receiver, Ji-hun swore. "I'm on my way. Keep the door locked." Min-jun hung up. A new message buzzed on Ha-un's phone. The notification flashed before she could stop it. "He's just the beginning. If you don't open the door, others will come." Her breath caught. She backed away until her shoulders hit the window. Rain streaked down behind her, mirroring the panic rising inside her. Min-jun crossed the room and gently cupped her face, forcing her to focus on him instead of the door, instead of the threat, instead of everything collapsing. "Look at me," he whispered. "Right here. Don't drift away from me, Ha-un." Her vision steadied slightly. "I'm scared," she breathed. "I don't know how to breathe anymore." "You breathe with me," he whispered. "Right now. Slow. Just match me." He inhaled. She followed. He exhaled. She trembled, but she followed again. The knock came once more, but she didn't look away from him this time. "Good," he murmured. "Stay with me. I'm not going anywhere." When her breathing finally softened, she whispered, "Why are you doing this? Why are you risking so much for me?" His eyes softened, deep with something she wasn't ready to name.
Because the moment you fell into my pool, he said, something in me decided you weren't someone I could let go. Her lips trembled. Outside, the elevator dinged.
Heavy footsteps approached, several of them. Voices murmured. Security had arrived, along with someone else. Someone whose low tone carried through the hallway like a warning. Ji-hoon. And someone beside him. The man at the door stopped knocking. Silence fell. Then a single sentence echoed from the hallway, cold enough to pierce through the wood. If she won't come out, we'll make sure she has nowhere left to hide. Ha-eun's eyes widened, and the world she'd tried to escape closed in again. If you enjoy intense K-dramas filled with emotional tension and unforgettable characters, don't miss the video, The Cold Who Never Helped Anyone, K-drama, on the channel. The storytelling is gripping, full of twists, and wrapped in that atmospheric Korean urban vibe that pulls you in from beginning to end. Absolutely worth every minute.